Podcast kláštera.
Greetings from the Broumov Monastery, where we are hosting the 7th annual Illustration Symposium. Meet this year foreign participants through our traditional podcast from the monastery and stay updated on all the happenings via our profiles on Facebook, Instagram or our website www.symposiumillustrace.cz. The podcast is hosted by Michaela Režová, and who is in the spotlight today?
Podcast kláštera.
Victoria Stampfer is freelance illustrator based in Berlin. She completed her master's degree in illustration from the Berlin University of the Arts and has been working independently ever since. Her work spans personal projects such as flirt zine and commissions for the press. She loves creating playful characters and still lifes that seem to come alive. Inspired by both adventure tales and everyday moments, Victoria often finds ideas during walks and travels. Atmospheric places, striking colors combination, or amusing encounters. In 2024, she exhibited her still life series Kitchen Stories alongside ceramic objects at the Fumetto Comic Festival in Lucerne. Hello!
Hello!
It seems that you love drawing kitchen still lifes, food, fruits and vegetables. How did this interest develop? Why all the food?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I love to eat. And then I think this series started during Corona. I had a lot of time at home. And I think it started with a color combination. I wanted to make an illustration with red, yellow, green, and black. And I don't know. Then I just started doodling around, and I did a few drawings with a lemon, a sunflower, bananas, and yeah, that's how it started actually. And then it was working well. I printed them and sold them at several festivals and shops, and I don't know, people seemed to like it, so I did some more fruits, and it was also really fun to draw like this veggies with faces and kind of alive. I don't know, it was fun. So.
And did you also find the inspiration in Czech food and cuisine so far?
Yes, actually, it's funny that you asked, because we went to a little bakery a few days ago, and there were like super funny cakes. Like I think the shape of the cake was cool. So right now I'm working on a drawing with this Czech cakes.
Okay, so you planning to connect your residency here also with the food team?
Yeah. Food and nature. I think I will have one drawing with these cakes, yes, and then the rest will be mainly, I think, the nature.
And can we maybe go a bit more further, or what are you planning to do here, or how you want to spend your residency?
Yeah. So at first I didn't know really what I wanted to do before coming. I only knew that I wanted to experiment a bit more with painting. Because I work, it's a mix. My work is a mix of digital and analog working, but I wanted to start painting a bit more. So that was my only goal when I arrived in Broumov, and yeah, I got inspired by the architecture, also a bit of the city, because they're very colorful and nice old buildings, and we had a nice walk in the nature next to the sandstones. This was also very inspiring. And yeah, and this sweet Czech cakes also found very, very cool. Yeah, I kind of grab things that happened during our days here, exploring the city, and yeah. I think I will make a series of like impressions that I had in Broumov.
We spoke about food as a big inspiration for you. What else inspires you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what inspires me a lot is traveling and walks. I think discovering new stuff like architecture-wise, or just the landscapes. And I think I'm really curious about discovering new cultures and also new places and specialities. And this inspires me a lot.
For you also is something which is visible from your work. It's like a color palette, that colors are important for you. Are you also inspired by colors when you travel? Is it like that you're making some notes about colors or color palettes from all over the world?
Yes, it's actually it's a good question, because I think color is one of my biggest inspiration, also in color combinations. I had it here with the buildings in the Broumov Square. And last winter I was in Tokyo, and it was also very inspiring for architecture also, and also these color combinations. It can be like in the city, but also how people dress, or also like the packagings of some food or some items. I think, I write down a lot of color combination. I have a list on my iPhone.
Oh, sounds good.
Of colors that I like together. And also I think it's one of the part I like the most about when I illustrate. I'm also always really looking forward to the part where I can put it in color. I think it's one of the things that that I like the most.
We spoke about colors, and your style is also very clean, vivid shapes. How did you develop this approach?
Yeah, I think it also happened during my university years at UDK, Universität der Künste in Berlin. I was with a professor, Henning Wagenbreth, who has a very clear style with a lot of also geometrical shapes. And I think it started there that I also cleaned up a bit my drawing style. But that's what I think. And then it just evolved, and I think now I'm loosening up here again a bit, because as I said, I want to paint a bit more and experiment more with textures also and colors, but maybe it will be less clean or clear what I do here. I don't know.
I wanted to ask, like, if you are happy in the face of your artwork where you are now, but you maybe answer a bit that this space, this residency, make the space for you to experiment more. So is it something what you planned to do, or is it nice to have this time?
Yes, it's great actually, because I have the feeling in my everyday life in Berlin, it's I'm really catched into my work, and I after work I don't know, I meet my friends, I have my hobbies, and I don't take the time as I was taking it at university to try out some new stuff, and I was missing this. And that's why I'm really thankful for this residency also, that I have like all this time and to try out some stuff. I feel kind of confident in my style. I think it's good, but I'm always looking for new things to try out, and also like I love working with textures. And you have to try out a lot to find something cool.
Yeah, you mentioned that you live in Berlin, where the illustration scene seems vivid for me, vibrant and full of life. Is it difficult to establish yourself there? Is there a lot of competition among artists?
I would not say competition. There are a lot of illustrators and artists in Berlin, that's for sure. But I would say it's more... for me it's cool and it's nice, because we have a lot of events going on, a lot of fairs, exhibitions, and also we have like some shops to sell our prints. So this is nice that we have that so much. And I have the feeling that the competition is more worldwide now, because when art directors contact someone, it's not only in one city, it's like all over the world. So yeah, we're not, I think we're all in competition in a way, but I don't think that the Berlin scene, I don't feel it at all. And also, like, I'm in 2 WhatsApp groups, where one for children book illustration and the other one it's more for press illustration. And I have the feeling we help out ourselves a lot. We sometimes there are some open calls that are sent in these groups, or sometimes we just have a question because of how to ask for a prize or to negotiate the prize. If we get an email, like, and I think actually there's a lot of helping. I mean, I'm also at a studio. I'm in a studio, shared studio with two illustrator friends and a lot of other artists and illustrators. And there also, if we have a question, we help ourselves out. And I don't feel competition at all. I think it's more helpful.
Sounds great.
Yes.
And is Berlin illustration scene also like international? Because I know that there's a lot of artists from all over the world living in Berlin. Is it like that?
Yeah, it's pretty international. I mean, for example, at my studio, Julia, she's from Brazil. I'm half French, actually. My friend Tanya, okay, she's German, but also there are a lot of Italian illustrators. I mean, like, I was sharing my studio before with an Argentinian illustrator. It's really all mixed up, and I think it's pretty cool, actually, because everyone comes from different culture and also has it from different schools and different styles. So you get to see a lot of different stuff, and it's kind of inspiring.
What kind of projects do you enjoy the most?
I think work-wise, I like press commissions a lot, because often there are kind of short-term projects, like you have to do them in a few days, which is very stimulating. Because you have to be quick thinking, and it stimulates the creativity a lot, I think, to have to work quickly. And also, I think the themes that are, for example, the commissions you get, sometimes you've never heard of that subject before, or you're like, okay, I don't know, but let's read the article and see. And I think it's very cool to learn also a lot. And it's like subjects I would maybe not have illustrated if I would have chosen them myself, but just to I think it's cool. It's the projects I enjoy the most.
Your illustrations have also been printed on silk scarves, for example. Do you enjoy working across different medium when it's not just print or digital, but
Yeah, I like that. I like the scarf project was really cool. I think it's a great thing to see illustration on other mediums. I also did some ceramics for a few years, so I was drawing on the ceramics and also like making funny shapes. For example, in Lucerne last year when I was exhibiting my kitchen stories series, there I also did some big lemons and cherries and out of ceramics. So this was cool. And I think I would like to do more, actually. I would love to work, like, for example, for packaging or printed stuff. So
Yeah, maybe we can go to your projects. Can you tell us more about Kitchen Stories and Flirtzine?
Yeah, so Kitchen Stories was my fruits series, so that I exhibited last year. And Flirtzine is a cool project that I did with Antoinette Carpentier, which is a French illustrator friend of mine. So actually it's a zine where we invite different artists to draw like a few pages, often comic. And it started during university. I think there was one semester where I was a bit bored by the subject. Well, like every semester we had a subject, and this semester I was like, I don't know, it's not very interesting. So I thought, okay, I will do something on my own with my friends. And Antoinette, at that time, was living in Paris, and I was in Berlin. And so we decided to create this flirt scene, and it has the shape of an envelope. It was a bit like the idea that we send each other letters. And so we invited a few friends all around, like Germany and France, to participate to this zine. And then we printed it in riso and had a release party. So in total we had 4 flirt scenes. We also did once the release party in Berlin, once we did it in Paris. So it was cool because it was also like connecting these illustrator scenes and connecting the people that we knew from a bit everywhere. But now it's been a few years that we haven't done any. But I think maybe it will come back again. I mean, we loved it. It's just like we didn't have time then, and but maybe it will come back.
Does the collaboration and teamwork, is it important for you? Do you enjoy to do something with a group of friends?
Yeah, I like it. For example, last year we did a calendar with Julia and Tanya from my studio, and we also invited a few illustrators. And then we sold the calendar, and was actually for a charity. It was for women's shelter in Berlin, so all the money we collected. And I think it was a cool group project again. Like, we invited every illustrator to come at our studio, and we did a workshop, and we were drawing together for the weekend. And yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Not for every project. I like also doing my own stuff, but I think it's always cool to work with other people. It's kind of inspiring. And that's why also I like it here. I think to see how other people work, to get like inspired, like, oh wow, they paint or they cut out stuff and do collage, or yeah, I think it's really cool too.
What is your process of working? Do you sketch a lot, for example?
Yeah, I sketch a lot. My typical way of working, I would say, is sketching, then actually drawing by hand, mainly with with a pencil, and scanning. And then once it's scanned, I color digitally and add some structures. The structures also sometimes are handmade, so with pencils, painting colors. And then it's actually all digital, like the final touch. Yeah.
Do you have any daily routines or creative habits which are helping you to stay creative?
I don't have any daily routines, I would say. I don't have that. I just try to go to the studio every day, which doesn't work out so well, but I try. To be around there around 9 in the morning, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a routine. But I like to go on walks. I think this helps a lot. Like also going on walks in areas in the city where I don't live or where I'm not so often, just to change a bit like the view on stuff and just discover new things, because in my everyday life sometimes I don't see things anymore. So yeah, I think that helps me to stay creative.
Yeah, maybe this is a hard question, but in your opinion, what's the most important quality an illustrator should have?
I think one of the qualities that illustrators can have on one is like the quick finding of creative idea, like to quickly come up with something visually cool that works with the assignment, and also to be able, I think, to think in a metaphoric way, to not be so literal in your illustration, to kind of find a workaround to how to illustrate it. Yeah, I think it's a good quality.
Do you have it when you work with clients? Do you have a space to be to your fantasy can go on, or they expect to be more?
Depends. I think I have it. I mean, when I work with clients, I often give 2 to 3 sketches. Some ideas are more simple, some ideas are more elaborate or more metaphoric maybe, and then they choose. And sometimes I have I have a cool surprise that I liked
the second one.
The second one, yeah, exactly. So, it depends on the clients, but yeah, there is some space for that. Sometimes there's not so much time because when you get like a commission for press, you have to be kind of quick. And sometimes the better idea or another idea comes like a few days later, and you're like, damn, this would have been cool, but yeah, it's okay. I mean,
do you mostly work for German and French scene, or are your illustration published all over the world?
Yeah, I think mostly German. I've never worked for France, but I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
I worked once for the US also, but mainly Germany. Otherwise, mainly Germany. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Czech illustration scene?
I know Lustre Festival very good. I mean, not very good. I've never been, but I follow them since a few years, and I think that's very cool. I would love to go this year actually. And I also followed, I think, a few Czech illustrators because of Lustre, because I saw their work online, but I'm really bad with names. I don't remember. But I was not super familiar. I discovered a lot while being here and meeting the other Czech illustrators, and actually I'm really thankful for that. And
Yeah, so let's hopefully meet you in September in Prague.
Yes.
Maybe my few last questions will be, if you can share with us some tip or trick or something like that, if you have something, or it can be from creative side, or maybe some life hack which is worth to share with mostly illustrators which are listening us.
Good question. I don't know. It's hard to say. I would say to try out a lot, to sketch out your ideas, to allow yourself to be weird in your ideas and or illustrations, and also to reach out a lot. I think if you want to work, you have to reach out and be confident just to write a lot of emails. Yeah, I would say that.
And I asked you about the Czech illustration scene, but if our listeners would like to be familiar with maybe German illustration scene, what's the best way to get into it? If there is something like a Lustre or festival which is worth to follow to discover some names.
Yes, there are a lot. There's a Snail Eye in Leipzig, which is really cool. I've never been there, but I've heard a lot of cool stuff. And I've been to Millionaires Club. It was actually before Snail Eye, and I know that the illustration scene in Leipzig is really good. There's also the Hamburg Comic Festival, where there are a lot of really, really good illustrators too. Otherwise there are a lot of events, but I don't have them in my head right now.
No, I think that you mentioned a lot. That it's definitely worth to check them and maybe discover the artist through these platforms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. It was a pleasure to talk with you. I hope that you will have a nice rest of the time here in Broumov, and good luck with your projects here and back in Germany.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Podcast z kláštera.